Work's all done. I'm all dirty and sweaty. I'm dreaming about my food forest, looking at my machete. Okay, pitchfork would work more appropriately, but that wouldn't rhyme. Hey y'all, Billy from Perma Pastures farm. There's his rooster giving an amen. He was as silent as a church mouse until we decided to film, and then all of a sudden he's at it. Okay, we talked about this little project before alongside the driveway here, and we were telling you we were doing it incrementally, whenever we were able. And remember, I wore this shirt back then, and it really fits right now. If you want one, go check out the Modern Yeoman, Sean, the Modern Yeoman. He has a YouTube channel, probably going to be up there. Anyway, we've been at this, and we've got, I mean, I can't even begin to tell y'all how long these days have been. Just like every other farmer out there, this time of year, it's going to be especially long. And it is what it is. So anyway, we're coming to the end of it. So right down here, right where you see the end of that cardboard down there, that's basically the finish line. So we got just enough wood mulch here to go ahead and finish this up and then hit some of these low spots that we have down in here. But folks, also what I want to point out, because we're not going to be doing any updates on the chicken tractor on steroids for now, not until there is something to report. Right now, it's in a state of where, you know, it's, if you want to go back and watch it, check out those videos, because it shows you basically, we've done so many videos on that you ought to have a pretty good idea about how that whole thing unfolds. But one thing I do want to point out, y'all, is around every, if I don't sit here and fall down, around every one of these trees, we left it kind of blank. What I mean blank is we got the cardboard up to a certain point, because around these before, we already put like a cardboard layer and then hit it lightly with a mulch. Now, what I'm planning to do, this is why zoning in permaculture, which is one of those things that's so often overlooked, is so important. Because what you see right next to me is the chicken tractor on steroids. And if you look further up the hill, we got tarps covering completed compost piles. But those piles are like literally, what, 3 steps away from where the actual piles are? And folks, that's not an accident. That's all by design. You want to situate, and I can't stress this enough, because can't begin to tell you how many people I know that want you to go out there and look at something, then they wind up putting the chicken tractor in zone 5. When you could have had it right next to what could honestly use their stuff. So whether it's a system like this, or whether you got another compost pile, situate it to where your work is going to be. Treat it like you would a construction site. That's exactly what we do. I mean, you know, nobody would necessarily call construction permaculture, but the same principles apply. You put things where they need to be. You put things in close proximity to where they'll be used. Because actually, if you look over here, what do we got right there? We got a compost pile that's getting close to being finished. But literally, from there to here is where that material is going. That's exactly where it's going. Or you could see it across the road where we have it's basically an orchard down to that post, and then it becomes a food forest. It's exactly the same thing. Folks, I can't tell you enough why so many people get in so much trouble when it comes to this stuff, and they work themselves into a frenzy because they don't stop to think about zoning. They just think, oh, it would really be idyllic to put this over there, put my garden over there, put things over here, when you never stop to consider how much work, how can I lessen my work, how can I have my work with me by putting it in very close proximity to where this stuff is going to be. So here we are, we're about at the finish line. We're going to stop down there for now, because in that low-lying area over there, we got plans. We're hoping in the future it's going to be a pond. And Justin from Metcalf Mills will honestly make that determination for us. Even if it's an intermittent pond, I want something that's going to stop. Whenever we do have a deluge here, it largely doesn't come out anymore. But if we can capture some of that water, even for a little while, why not just put it down into the aquifer here? You know, we are using water that comes out of the ground by and large, along with the stuff that comes overhead. So folks, with that said, the big things I want to point out in this video, keep your stuff close. It doesn't have to be a chicken tractor on steroids like this. It could just be your compost pile. It could be an 18-day compost pile. Ask yourself, how can I situate this thing to to not even take it where I can literally take it, either take it with a pitchfork or with a bucket and then put it exactly where it belongs. Whether it's around that emerging blueberry or that blueberry or this tree here, it could be the comfrey, it could be any number of things. That's why we leave this uncovered right now. I could go ahead and put some cardboard, and I probably will. But we already got stuff that's in this mulch ring. Like I said, there's daffodils in there. But more importantly, if I do cover this with cardboard, I know that this soil is alive at this point, to the point that when it's time for the daffodils to come back out, that cardboard is largely going to be part of the soil. So that's really cool. So anyway, with that said, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to finish up the cardboard and check it out, y'all. We're doing it slowly, like my man Sean, the modern yeoman, always says. So that's exactly what we've been employing on this, and we're getting it done. So like I said before, this isn't a war you win in miles. You win it in inches, and we've been inching along, so it's nice to get to that finish line finally. Turtle fits right now. So with that said, it's time to get out here, lay out some cardboard, get it done. All right, y'all. There we are. I mean, I think we gained, I don't know, when it's all said and done, maybe 20 feet every single time we do this. But hey, you know what? Work's all done. I'm all dirty and sweaty. I'm dreaming about my food forest, looking at my machete. Okay, pitchfork would work more appropriately, but that wouldn't rhyme. Now, would it? Anyway, here we are, y'all. I'm a little bit dopey, a little dehydrated, but that's how it goes sometimes. So there we go. We're going about as far as that for now. And just remember, for those that are new, here I am standing on the driveway. Both sides of this thing is going to be flanked by an orchard. We got a food forest from here down, orchard all the way up. Just makes good sense. Organize and situate your material close to where you're going to need them. Look, when this thing turns out next week, I can either take it, I can take it, put it under a tarp, let it sit a while, wait for another pile and put them together like we typically do, or just go ahead and take it from right where it is over to the trees. I know I said it before, but folks, you tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them, right? So in these places, we had just enough, by the way, we had exactly enough cardboard. I'm the world's worst estimator, had exactly enough wood mulch, which, by the way, you know, hey, it's not bad when you can get wood mulch for honey when you barter for it. So that's also a good thing. All right, where we're going to go from here, I'm just kind of lay out what a guild is, because I know we got a lot of new people here. A guild, just kind of look at it like the fingers of your hand. This is our tree, and surrounding that fruit tree are going to be a number of things that aid not only the fruit tree, but the fruit tree also aids it. So we're going to replicate as best we can as many layers of a healthy forest that we can. The overstory, the understory, the herb, you know, you get it all, so on and so forth. Now, also what's going to be happening here, we've seen it in the other one, is that some would even argue that there's an 8th layer, and some would call it the mycelial layer, and I agree with them. That's also going to be breaking down these wood chips. It's also going to, not only is it the mouth of the forest, it's also the internet of the forest, and that's a whole nother video unto itself. So that's going to be going on. Inside here, we're going to have a series of bulbs. We already got the daffodils and stuff in there. We're going to pile this up with some more of that bomb compost over there, probably cover it with a little bit wood mulch. Now, where I'm standing will likely, actually right about back here will probably be a blueberry, just like you see this tree flanked by one of the blueberries we were able to put in. This thing's grown considerably. You know, there's a whole lot of things they say about where you should and shouldn't grow this stuff. especially concerning blueberries and stuff like that. I'm finding out Paul Gauci was really right on so many different ways in terms of what happens when you use this wood mulch that's fortified with, you know, the stuff coming from the chickens. So anyway, we're going to have blueberry. Over there will be a nitrogen fixing shrub right about there. Probably sea buckthorn. Over here we'll have another nitrogen fixing shrub. All along the side over here is comfrey. We're missing one right about here, but that's okay. We can put it in later. Not only that, this thing will grow up and it will basically work like the fingers of your hand. The mushrooms will be doing their work. The shrubs, the nitrogen fixing shrubs will be doing their work. These bulbs will be doing their work. You know, everything will be working exactly as it should be, like your fingers on your hand do. That's exactly what we want to replicate, which is basically a healthy forest, which is not the one I'm pointing at right now. That's an unhealthy forest, but that's another time. Anyway, folks, there we are. Remember, slowly take those projects. They may seem insurmountable at first, and I get that a lot from a lot of people that reach out to us. That's why I wanted to cover this thing in a greater series. In that, you know, every day you may gain, if it's a project like this, let's say you gain 10 feet. Well, you gain it, you hold on to it. It's like a war. You don't retreat, you know, you gain it, hold it, and then when you can get back to it, you gain a little bit more. Then before you know it, I don't know how far we've gone, but my goodness, I mean, between all the other things we got going on right now, between this, it took, let's say, a week to get here, but we got here. You know, stack trips, do whatever you need to do. Get cardboard when you can. All those things, folks. At the end of the day, just break it down in increments and do it. That's really the best way to go about it, especially for you folks out there that say, man, I don't have the help. I don't have enough time. I don't have this. I don't have that. Do what you can. Hold on to it. Later on, gain a little bit more. Remember, we got comfrey for sale. If you want to check it out at our website, permapasturesfarm.com. We also got bone sauce. We got more of that. We've been working around the clock making some of that. So if anybody wants it, it's there for you. And check us out on Patreon if you want to support us over there. We won't say no. And plus, we also have a lot of great content over there. So, folks, here it is. I mean, another orchard ready to rock and roll. We got a lot of work to do, but still happy work. So, folks, remember, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Hit that notification bell. Till next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. Right here, even on these sweaty days, it's still my passion. We'll see y'all next time.